Let me ask you something real. Have you ever felt anxious for absolutely no reason? Like your body is in panic mode, but your brain can't explain why? Have you ever felt completely numb, like you're watching your own life from behind glass? Or maybe you carry this constant low-level tension in your shoulders, your chest, your jaw, and no matter how hard you try to just relax, it won't go away. You've been told to move on, let it go, think positive, but something in you just can't. Here's what nobody told you. It's not in your head, it's in your body. This is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel Kolk, a book that has spent years on the US bestseller list because millions of people read the first chapter and cried because they finally felt understood. Today, we're breaking it down in clear, natural American English. So whether you're here to grow your English, understand yourself, or both, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. When most people hear the word trauma, they think of war veterans or abuse survivors. They think, that's not me. My life wasn't that bad. But here's what Kolk discovered after decades of research. Trauma is not about what happened to you. It's about what happens inside you as a result. It's the wound that didn't heal, the moment your nervous system got overwhelmed and got stuck there. It could be a car accident, a divorce, bullying in school, growing up in a house where love felt conditional. It doesn't have to be dramatic to be real. And the most important thing to understand right now, trauma is not a life sentence, it's a response, and responses can change. But first, you have to understand what's actually happening. Here's the thing that changes everything. Trauma doesn't just live in your memories, it lives in your body. When something traumatic happens, your brain goes into survival mode. Fight, flight, freeze. Your heart races, your muscles tense, your whole system floods with stress hormones. That's normal. That's your body doing its job. The problem happens when the threat is gone, but your body doesn't get the memo. It stays on high alert, days, months, years later. That's why trauma survivors startle easily, can't sleep, feel unsafe in their own skin. That's why they get headaches, stomach problems, chronic pain with no medical explanation. Their body is still running the emergency program, still fighting a threat that left a long time ago. Kolk says it straight. The body keeps the score. Every experience you've ever had is recorded somewhere inside you, and until it gets processed, it keeps playing. Let's talk about what actually happens in the brain, because this is where it gets fascinating. The brain has three main areas that trauma affects. The smoke detector, called the amygdala, it scans for danger constantly. In trauma survivors, this part is overactive. It fires alarms even when there's nothing wrong. A raised voice, a certain smell, a specific time of year, and suddenly you're back there, even if you don't consciously know why. The second area is your rational brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is the part that says, calm down, you're safe, think clearly. But when the smoke detector is screaming, the rational brain goes offline. You literally cannot think your way out of a trauma response. That's why people say, I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I can't stop it. They're right. The thinking brain has been bypassed. This is also why talking about trauma isn't always enough. You can understand it completely and still feel it in your body, because the body and the brain need different kinds of healing. So now you understand why people tell you to just move on and it never works. It's not weakness, it's not drama, it's neuroscience. Kolk spent years trying to understand why his patients couldn't just get over it. And what he found was this: trauma freezes you in time. The traumatic memory doesn't get stored like a normal memory. It doesn't fade. It doesn't become just another story from the past. It stays raw, immediate, present, like it just happened every single time something triggers it. And here's the brutal part. The people around you can't see this. They see someone who looks fine, has a job, goes to the grocery store. They don't see the war happening inside. So they say, "It's been years. Why are you still like this?" And you start to believe there's something wrong with you. There isn't. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it learned to do. The goal isn't to fight it. It's to help it feel safe again. Okay, so how do you actually heal? Kolk is clear. Traditional talk therapy alone is often not enough for trauma. Because trauma lives in the body, healing has to reach the body too. He talks about several paths that actually work. The first is movement, yoga, dance, martial arts. These help you reconnect with your body in a safe way, help you feel that your body is yours again, that you are in control of it. The second is mindfulness, learning to notice what you're feeling without being overwhelmed by it, not suppressing, not exploding, just witnessing. The third is connection, safe relationships. Because trauma often happens in relationship, healing also happens in relationship. Having someone who is consistently calm, present, and trustworthy, that's not just emotional support, that's medicine. There's no single path, but there is always a path. And the most important first step is the same for everyone. Stop blaming yourself for how your body responded to something it couldn't control. Here's where it all comes together. Healing from trauma isn't about erasing the past. It's about reclaiming the present. Kolk talks about patients who, after years of being stuck, finally feel something shift. Not because the memory disappeared, but because it stopped running their life. They could think about it without being consumed by it. They could feel without being overwhelmed. They could be in their body without it feeling like a war zone. That's the goal. Not perfection, not forgetting, just freedom. The freedom to be present in your own life, to feel joy without waiting for it to be taken away, to love without constantly bracing for loss, to exist in your body and feel at home there. That is possible for you right now, no matter how long you've been carrying this. You just learned something that most people spend years in therapy trying to understand. That your body has been protecting you all along. That your reactions make sense. That healing is not about being stronger. It's about feeling safe enough to finally let go. If any part of this resonated with you today, if it helped you understand yourself or someone you love a little better, please share this video, because someone out there right now is blaming themselves for exactly what this book explains. Subscribe to Luminae Minds for a new book every week. Real ideas, real English, real growth. Thank you for being here. Now go be a little gentler with yourself. You've been through more than people know. I'll catch you in the next one.